Had a question come up on my channel the other day, and decided to answer it. I'm down on North Shore, right by Heinz Field, right behind me, and I've actually parked on the street. There's going to be an event parking, but right now it's $3 an hour, and this won't take too long. A couple things I want to show. The question was, is there easy access to North Shore for handicapped people? If you're a wheelchair or disabled in some way, is there easy access to get down there? Answer is yes.
In between Heinz Field and the river is North Park Drive. Usually there's plenty of parking through the weekday. This area behind the World War II Memorial is known as North Shore Riverfront Park. And if you look to the right here at the People's Center, there's actually a walkway that will take you down directly to the riverfront. During the summer, we actually get some river boats from the mighty Mississippi itself.
And check this sign out on the inside. Amazing. By the way, any of these access points are up for grabs, providing that there isn't a game going on. Gateway Clipper usually pulls boats up to here to ferry people across the river to get to games at Heinz Field. So you have to be a little smart, know what's going on a given day. You know, I try to shy away from major events whenever I'm coming down here to fish, but other than that, I mean, the spot speaks for itself. We're getting some of the most beautiful urban fishing that you could possibly do in the country. By the way, if you're ever fishing the river and you're wondering what your hooks get stuck onto, the flowing side of this pier gives you a pretty good idea. Trees, logs, driftwood, trash, tons of trash, and my personal favorite, random sofa. So yeah, this is why I use 20-pound braid. You could probably go 50, wouldn't harm anything. You're likely to pull any of this crap out on a given day. Keep it classy, Pittsburgh. So I'm down on the Market Street Pier. It's right by the Fort Duquesne Bridge, right in front of Heinz Field. There's a lot of waterways, access points. If you're looking for an area with a fence, this is actually kind of ideal to fish right off of it. And you're getting into deeper parts of the river since you're maybe about 100 feet out from shore. And behind me I have the American Duchess. This comes in from the Mississippi River. The owner brings it up a couple times a year. There's a couple other large river boats that have been making their way up the Ohio, visiting Pittsburgh. And those things are designed to go in the Mississippi, which in of itself is 11 miles at its widest point. That's one heck of a river that dwarfs our relatively small tributaries. And that is saying a lot, since our tributaries are nothing to shun at either. The Ohio River is a huge river in of itself. But we're not going to be fishing any of the three rivers today. We're not going to be fishing the Mississippi. We're actually going to be thinking smaller and going to where these rivers begin. My name's Jake Workmeister, and I love fishing. Okay, it's actually the next day. Had a gig last night and it rained like none other. So I'm kind of excited about that because it raised the water level on the creek a little bit. I'm in Chartiers Creek near Bridgeville, PA, and I'm going to be doing some exploring. And I got a new little toy that's going to help me along. My GoPro is actually a Hero 7 White. Great camera for what it is. My girlfriend sold it to me. I got it for virtually nothing. The only problem is it only has an internal battery. So once I run out of juice, that's it. Until now. Got an external battery, solar powered as well. So I'm just going to keep this on my belt hook and run a USB-C to the chest cam. And hopefully that'll prevent me from missing any more good catches. Really became a problem the past 2 weeks. But yeah, honestly, in in Allegheny County, which is the county where Pittsburgh is in, North Park Lake is the only truly stocked fishing lake. There's a couple of other private, carp, catfish lakes, but for general fishing, there really aren't that many in Allegheny County. And of course, we got the 3 rivers, and the other thing we do have are the creeks. And I'm sorry, Pittsburgh. We also have the cricks. No, really, that's a thing. These are actually tributaries that feed into the rivers, and we were discussing the Mississippi yesterday. The Mississippi is technically made of thousands of these little creeks. So, cool little factoid. The other cool thing about this area, the creeks are actually in what would be called a river in a lot of other places. They are actually pretty big of themselves. That and our rivers are gigantic compared to what's typically, considered a river in a lot of other states. So, little fun facts about waterways. Enough of the boring stuff. Let's get fishing. So the first part of the adventure is, and I just had a guy pull up behind me asking how to get down to the creekums, because he didn't know himself. Neither do I. So the first part of the adventure is actually getting down there. And I'm packing extremely light. Oh, that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. So yeah, I have everything on my backpack. Couple lures, couple jigs. It's actually a real nice spot. I got a net on me, catch net if I need it. But yeah, we'll see what we could get out of here. I'm gonna use start off with the same Ned rig worm that I used the other day for that rock bass. And the only real thing I screwed up on today, I didn't screw up, it was intentional laziness. I was heading out to work. I left my lightweight Mitchell rod at home, which this is actually the case I specifically bought it for, and then I actually come to creek fish this year. I choose not to use it. Yeah, for the remainder of this video, I'm just going to superimpose creek and creek together. That way, yins or non-yins or like will know exactly what I'm talking about. This is the first time I've fished Chartiers Creek outside of the actual Cannonsburg Dam area, which is probably about 15 miles upstream. I haven't really creek fished a whole lot in my life. My buddy took me out last year to 10 Mile Creek, which is in Brownsville, PA. Just shy of the West Virginia border, deep south. I was using trout magnets. Actually caught some creek chubs. Should have used them as catfish bait. We had a gig that night, unfortunately, so they would have been dead by the time I used them. Could have used them as cut bait, but oh well. Yeah, there's a snag. Well, that was easy. Oh, that's cute. The creek thinks it's the river. That's 10-pound mono, so if I put too much stress on it, it's gonna snap it. Might have gotten it free. Did I? Yes, there's still weight on there. A little bit of patience goes a long way with that. I like basically plucking it like a guitar string. It's an old Bill Dance method, but it does seem to get most of my snags out. The only time I really run into issues are when I get stuck in rocks, which with that across the way there, that might have been what happened. See, technically with a Ned rig like this, I like bouncing it off the bottom, doing the same thing I did at the river. Just let the current carry it back and around. So I'm slowly reeling in, pulling the slack off. Yeah, there's some debris down there. I could feel it. Maybe it's a matching love seat to that sofa. Random sofa. To be fair, I never thought I'd give this clip a second thought. But here we are. Let's just dwell on the joke a little bit more until it's so uncomfortable that we just... Now, they do stock this area for trout. With as hot as it is right now, I doubt we'll come across that. If I come across some bluegill, I'll be happy. Maybe some channels. Maybe I should bring my catch net with me. See, this is a darned if you do, darned if you don't type of circumstance. I had this, one of the straps in my backpack. That way I could easily carry it around. And it's like, well, if it's there, it's not easily accessible for when I need it. Now that it's easily accessible when I need it, I'm very likely to leave it somewhere. Yeah, I'm using 10-pound line in an area where I know that there are prominently trout. Way to go, Jake. Way to go. That's the mating call of the wild mac. By the way, what do you want to do with this? Sorry, I had the jig head in my mouth. What do you want to do with these is tie them directly onto your string. What I've noticed about the trout magnet in particular, they are so tiny that if you put them onto a swivel snap, no matter the size of the swivel snap, the snap ends up having more flash that attracts the fish. I paid attention to bluegill going after them. Like, these things are real bluegill slayers too. That's why trout magnets started, I think they advertise them as bluegill magnets, or they have a slightly different variation of them. But yeah, what I was noticing last year when I was using these, I'm like, they work great. Then when I put them onto a swivel directly, bluegill would go after the swivel and it missed the soft body entirely. So trout magnets go directly onto string. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm gonna get the jig body on first, then we'll slice that little bit of monofilament. And by the way, if I'm getting real skunked today, we were catching a fish one way or another, so I'm heading down to Cross Creek. Then we could have some fun with some larger jigs. Because Cross Creek's only about, what, 10 miles away from here? Wait, do we still go by distances these days, or do we measure everything by how much it costs, how much gas is used? I'm just not quite sure. That's not exactly how I like splitting those two. Well, yeah, that worked out. Okay. Honestly, the trickiest thing about jigs is just getting the hook set right. For me, anyway. Like trying to finagle worms onto worm hooks. Takes a little skill. Thank you, flay knife. Have all these little bits of monofilament in my backpack. Should bring a small garbage bag with me. Make a mental note of that. Back to fishing. Yeah, see, that's better. See, there are signs of life. Now, he knows for a fact I can't cast over there, but that looks sizable too, whatever it was. You know what I have? Yeah, we're gonna do that. I have my GX2s here. I also have a whole bunch of my dough ball, and we're coming across the carbs bite time, so I'm gonna set one of those rods in. We're going to do that because why not? And no, you don't adjust your TVs. That is poison ivy all throughout here. Fun fact with that, you could actually take some time for the histamine reaction to take place, for it to get into your pores. And what you'll want to do, or what I'm going to do when I get home, is just scrub my arms down. It's basically like a sap, like a tree sap. Well, more like a, if you've ever messed around with like used motor oil. So when you're trying to wash poison ivy sap off, think of it like that consistency and just keep scrubbing and scrubbing. Lava soap works great for it. Any type of soap will work, but lava soap just makes it all the easier. I'm not sponsored by Lava Soap, but if they're listening and like the plug, hit me up. I'm a social media influencer now. There's, at the time of this recording, 36 subscribers here. Big numbers. Hop on board. And of everything I grabbed, I think I would have remembered, hey, dum-dum, you took the worm off this to, lose it in the creek here. You don't have any hooks. You should probably bring some hooks with you. I do have hooks on me. Nothing that I would use for this situation, though. So I'm running back up to the car. You know what? I'm just going to keep talking as I do that because there's another point. I left that dough ball in my car. I was wondering. See, I used canned tuna fish in that particular dough ball mix. I left it in the car all day on my sunrise to sunset video. So I was wondering if that tuna's spoiling. I mean, definitely now it's going to be. You wouldn't want to eat it, ingest it. Fish have different tolerances, but regarding that, contrary to popular belief, catfish in particular, do not go after rotting foods. I mean, yes, if there's dead fish floating on the bottom, obviously by the nature of a dead fish, it is rotting because of bacteria and everything. But yeah, I should. You know what? I'm bringing the whole tackle box down there. It's going to be easier because I'm looking at the pliers and everything I'm going to need. Technically, I should bring my bigger net, but let's tempt fate, shall we? But yeah, contrary to popular belief, catfish do not actively go after spoiled, rotten food. I was talking to my boss about this a while back. He's told me how him and his friends would like let chicken liver just sit out rot for a couple days and go down fishing. And I asked him, like, so how many fish did you catch with that method? He's like, oh, we never caught anything. It's like, yep. Because a fish's sense of smell is incredible. Now, there are things that they'll tolerate and eat that we most certainly wouldn't find appetizing, nor would we touch with a 10-foot pole. However, the fish will go after certain things. They won't go after putrid things because, believe it or not, they know they're putrid things. And while their stomachs could digest and handle things that ours can't, nature has its limits, man. So save the rotting stuff for the flies and the maggots. Treat your fish with decent baits. I say as I'm about to put on a dough ball that's been sitting in my car rotting for the past 2 days. Actually still doesn't smell that bad. So I'm assuming the canning process with tuna actually helped the cause in this case, because there's a hefty amount of salt and brine. Of course, there's the gelatin in here. Well, the sugar would most definitely grow bacteria, but the salt and the tuna brine may have actually kept it from rotting as quickly as it should, or at the very least it's blocking out some of the more shall we say colorful smelling bacteria, because it still doesn't smell too terrible. Let's put it this way, those catfish stink baits that you get are a lot more offensive than this. This still smells like strawberry cornmeal and, I don't know, cat food or something. I'll do a breakdown of video of my dough ball methods one of these days, along with the full review video of these Ugly Sticks GX2s 6.6 medium action. So after some time with nothing biting the lure, I started to look for bait. Aha! Don't be afraid, little guy. I want to get you stuck up in a tree. Pro tip. When fishing creek beds, always look around rocks. They are your best friend. Or little wrigglers like that. And that is, in these murky conditions, if that doesn't attract anything, I'm going to just do like a little bobber, have it float down the river there. If that doesn't attract anything, if I'm not getting bites off of it, we could determine that this is a dead zone for fish. That's about as scientific as you could get. Oh, and there's a, speaking of little tidbits of knowledge, there's a profound difference between how stocked lake fish behave versus fish out in the wild. Fish out in the wild are generally less hesitant to bite things that, look like lures, or even worms for that matter. Lake fish gain this ability to basically figure out exactly how to pull the worm off your hook. They are quite good at it, especially around this time of the year. There's so many people fishing, they just become little experts on stealing your bait. Of course, I offset that by using those size 12 snells. I got a few on me, but honestly I need to make a run out to Walmart to pick up more. So this is a size 8 hook. Is that getting bit, or did I get a... The fun thing about flowing water, when things are bumping against your line, they can look like hits. The river has fooled me many, many times and will fool me again. It's actually doing it the other night. Oh, I don't know. That might actually be a fish. We'll see. And God help me, I love the cheap little plastic bobbers. I know there's so many better bobbers out there, the slip ones, but I've used these since I was a kid. I've caught a ton of fish on them. They're cheap. Fish aren't intimidated by something this size hitting the water. In fact, I would argue that a little bit of a splash like that actually helps attract them. Gets it out further too. But I've never had issues with these. So here's the litmus test. Pooey. If I don't see that bobber getting hit, there are no fish in here. And if there's no fish in here, we could move on to another location right down the road where I know there's plenty of fish.
So yeah, nothing happened, and I moved along to the next spot, Cross Creek, which is another tributary, just like what you're looking at here, with a big dam in the middle of a very deep valley. So the lake itself is about 60 feet deep, and it stretches, I believe, 7 miles, making it one of Pennsylvania's largest lakes.
As I'm tempting fate and going full-fledged selfie mode, just let's appreciate this getup right here. Battery pack right back there. I was worried about it overheating, getting really warm. Hasn't been the case, and it's been pretty snug there. Doesn't feel any different than the harness, so that's a plus. My battery is actually charged 2% higher than when it was when I got out here, so this was a good idea. If you have a action cam that doesn't allow for batteries, I got that off of Facebook Marketplace for $11. After shipping, it came to 16. how did they measure that? It's 2,000 milliamps, I think. I think that's the mAh, that's milliamps, right? Have to look that up. But yeah, there's nothing really happening here. It's about 5 o'clock, so we're going to go to my favorite little bass haven, and we're going to slay it just in time for sunset. Oh yeah, fist bump. This view never gets old.
Now, the secret about this lake is the fact that the best bite time is right at dusk, which is great, except these clouds had other plans. As it turns out, a whole thunderstorm was forming right over top of me, and it became an issue. Fortunately, I did catch this one fish.
Got him. Nice skill. Very nice skill. Got the skunk off finally. Got some bad weather coming in from the west. Allegedly a tornado watch. Cool. Ah, these weeds. Killing me, man. They're killing me. Now I know for a fact that this crankbait produces. Yep, that is the sound of storms. Good news is the low pressure system actually instigates the fish to bite. That and we're coming on a good time of the day. Yeah, the way these clouds are moving in, it's about to get serious. Got him. Old reliable. Oh, that's disheartening. By the way, the following is in regards to the Strike King Pro Bitsy Minnow Ultralight Crankbait in the Sexy Shad Killer. If you don't have one, I highly recommend getting one. I have caught more fish off this thing than all my other lures combined. Last year it was just pulling in everything. It's a new split shot and treble hook in the back. Haven't really put it to good use lately. Kind of retired it when I damaged it last year. I have a green one that works pretty well too. But the that Keller's hard to find at Walmart at least. There's one that allegedly has a rattle in it. You can only get it at I think Bass Pro Shops, maybe Dick's. But if you're looking for one crankbait to have, I recommend this one just because fish of all sizes go after it. It's got just a good straight retrieve, or you could use it as a jerk. Both work very, very well. I prefer this size over the larger ones because the dual treble hooks on larger lures can harm the fish a little bit easier. This is just a really, really good size to hook them, catch them, release them. And that's called game. It's all fun and games until the lightning comes. Got back to my car. And this place is mostly a dead zone, but Google was able to slip this message in. Somehow the rain that was supposed to be here at 10 p.m. miraculously ended up showing up at 8:29 p.m. Kind of cool. Also cool was this. Goes to show that you should always rely on your own five senses over what any type of weather app or media personality tells you about the weather. And this is why I have trust issues. But anyway, yeah, there is a little spot that we're going to go to tomorrow before I have to go to work, and it should be pretty productive. Hopefully, if they stocked it this year, we'll find out. Don't worry, that's hitting my windshield an hour and a half from now. What's up, guys? We are at Carnegie Lake. It's in Highland Park, PA. A couple of blocks away from me, as a matter of fact. And last year they stocked this thing like you wouldn't believe with fish. Now, since November, I really haven't caught anything out here. Part of it I was attributing to just the cold weather. I'm hoping people haven't been catching and keeping, but we'll soon find out. Bottom line, I found out. Nothing was biting again. Then a gentleman came up and informed me that they had just stocked a couple days prior. About 500 catfish and bass were thrown into the lake. The catfish have been raised on corn. Now I knew exactly how to approach this situation, but it would take me till the next day to do it. So I came back the next day. That advice I was given, basically everything in here right now came fresh from the farm, fish farm, and when that happens, your dough ball falls right off. I just took this stuff off the stove, so maybe be careful with it. But yeah, when they first get transplanted into the lake, they're still used to eating what they're used to eating at the farm, which in the case of the catfish is corn. The bass are basically spoon-fed worms. So it takes time for their natural instincts to kick back in, basically due to resource scarcity. Then they start learning how to hunt again. So we're going to play into their weakness right now, at least for the sake of the catfish. I'm just using some standard dough ball, a lot of cream corn. I'm going to toss around the lure a little bit before going on to the red worms. We'll see what happens. Because I'm persistent. I know in the case of the lures, this place really starts producing around July.
You got anything in there?
Just got here.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, they allegedly just stocked about last week.
I was going to ask if they stocked yet. Usually people come up there and catch them all, don't put them back there.
Yeah. Apparently they're coming back in next week, I think, to do it again. So they do a pretty good job keeping up on this place.
Well, you know, when I was a kid, I remember we used to come up here. They used to have a little booth up here. You can get those little bamboo poles, and the little kids can come fishing.
Okay.
When I was a little kid, man, that was about 45 years ago.
Oh, that was fast. Props to that dude yesterday. He knew exactly what he was talking about. It's gonna be a little channel. It's gotta be. Yep. Yeah, you'll find a lot of them about this size here, fresh from the farm. What's up, little croaky? Oh, he's a pretty one. Okay. Get you off the hook and get you back in. But yeah, we'll see a ton of them, probably this size. I know there's some bigger ones in here. I know there's some locals that throw big ones from the river in here too. Just to hunt them down at night. There we go. Pretty fish. I'm wondering if they stock the catfish first. But as easy as that was, I wonder if they stock the channels first or doing the bass next week. Guess we'll find out. In any event, this will work. I used cream corn today, which, by the way, is a great work run if you're ever at a place that specifies no whole corn, because cream corn is not whole corn. You might have to strain some kernels depending upon what brand you get, but it's got all the corn flavor, all the benefits of corn right in it. By the way, southern recipe I learned: throw some cream corn, reduce it a little bit, just simmer it, get some of the liquid out, and put that on top of your wow. Put that on top of your oh, he hit it. And let it go. No, he's on. But yeah, put that on top of your meatloaf and mashed potatoes. You won't regret it. No, he got that off, that little son of a gun. I always appreciate an escape artist. These guys are small and just happy that they smell something familiar. And yes, I'm intentionally targeting by the aerator. You should too. Nope, got it that time. Uh-oh. He took me under something. That is not good. He might have taken me on that wire. That is a new challenge. Yeah, he's there. Where did he? That happens. Just let him take some slack. Hopefully he'll get me out of whatever I'm tangled up on. Could be the aerator hose. Got a duck laughing at me. See, if I give him slack, he's still pulling. But where is he at? That's a new one. I don't know if I could get him out of there. He's definitely there. Yeah, see? He's pulling, but he has the line. He must have pulled it right underneath the aerator. Remember what I said about targeting the aerator? Here's why you shouldn't do that. Fishing is all about a whole bunch of good ideas that are fantastic ideas until they're not. That's a channel under there. So, how am I going to get you out? Well, we're going to walk down. Hopefully it'll pull out by itself. I've never had a fish here do that to me. I have lost a lure in that area, so maybe if he could get that hook out of himself. By the way, pulling the line barehanded like that is a great way to give yourself a little rope burn cut, which I did. I'm not feeling him anymore. See, this is a big tricky part of the river too. They can do that to you. I'd love to know what he dragged me under though. Got one on there. He took me right underneath the, I think, the aerator hose. Oh, okay. So now he's stuck. Oh, yeah. You ain't getting me today. Did you use a lure or what? No, just a dough ball. Okay. Since they came from the farm, they feed them corn. Oh, yeah. So you throw anything in there, especially with everyone throwing breads into the ducks, they're used to all these things now. Probably a catfish stick. Yeah. Most definitely. I noticed, there used to be, when I was a kid, there used to be carp up in here, but not up there anymore. They had a couple last year, like just big goldfish ones, just to take care of the weeds. Okay. They ask you not to target them, but I mean, if you're throwing that in, they're going to eat what they're going to eat, you know? Nope, lost it. Figured that was going to happen. So he's free right now. Oh well. Of course, you know, this means war. That was a strong hit, and yep, he's on. He's making a run. This is fun. What we got now? Oh, regarding size, it's obviously a channel. A smaller. Wait, what? Okay. Missaw the. Whoa! Almost lost my pliers there. Hooked onto the net. And circle hook. Got him right underneath. Let him wear himself out a bit. By the way, the croaking sound they make, that is from the bones of their fins and their sockets. Let him out. Yeah, that sound weirds people out, but it's kind of similar to cracking your knuckles. It's not them making a please themselves. Those big blues, large channels, they make quite a lot of noise. Pretty things. You'll get the gentle release because you were patient. Had a bite on that worm too. And to clarify this point, I was using Berkeley trout magnet worms because, well, thank you, Walmart. You sold me a empty container of dirt. There's not one worm in here. Not one. That is amazing. Good golly. Another little channel about the same size. I would love to see the tank where all these are kept in. As fry, these things are tiny, probably tinier than most minnow. But they do have that little bone structure on them. Oh yeah, he's a tiny one. Technically, I don't even need the net for you. They grow. They grow quick. There we go. Okay. Just release him right in the net. He's ready to go. Whew. Catching them like I catch bluegill. No, you're not running back there. Ran to the same spots. I'm hoping this is the one we would have had previous. He's a fighter. It's a channel. Yeah. Like, and do you have another hook in there? No? Okay. That's a first. Usually they get the sides of the mouth. This one, the circle hook went right at his tongue. There we go. Off of him. And these are small enough where I could put my thumb in there without much worry. I'm thinking better of it. He's pretty strong, even at this this size. He said I had enough. I don't know if this will pick up on camera. There is that might be the bass that we're looking for, unless it's a carp. No, that line, that looks like a largemouth. That most definitely looks like largemouth, and we're going to put that theory to the test right now. I'm sure of it. These are largemouth bass. I wonder if they're still spawning. Or they're being chased out to the outskirts here because of all the catfish in there. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna have to rethink this approach and use a bigger hook, because we're suddenly targeting something bigger than I was expecting. I'm keeping an eye on the catfish. We're going to go after the largemouth with itty bitty minnow. And scare the duck while I'm at it. I went too close. Yeah, these bass are still right by the shore. So
New pocket lure.
We're gonna play that game with them. There we go. There we go. That was what we were looking for. That's what I'm usually looking for here. Okay. Yeah, you just hang out there. Got tangled up in the tree when I was pulling them out. That's a pretty largemouth. Yep, confirmed that's a largemouth. Let's get him back in the water. Bless you. Now this is making all the sense in the world to me. So they stalked all these catfish. All these bass are hiding out on the outskirts because the catfish are probably, well, right now they are bigger. Cool. Now things are producing here as they should be. Let's do it again. Don't think I've ever seen a YouTube channel where someone's simultaneously targeting catfish and bass. But oh well. That's what they stalk, that's what bites. That's what I'll go for. That one a little bit closer to that. Oh, holy crap. That worked. Went right shy of that structure out there. I stopped it with my hand, bait caster style, because I was worried that I was going to get tangled up in there. Sure enough, he was waiting. Oh, man. Yahoo! Yes. Now that's how this place should be reacting. What a great day. Got him right there. Oh man. He's staring right at it, put it right in front of him. He went. Okay. It's okay, buddy. Oh, no, it's not okay. Oh man. He's barely hooked, but hooked just enough. Okay, let me get that out. Come on. Yeah, I didn't tell you to bite. I'm embarrassed for you, okay? Now they're reacting like they should be. That's a pretty fish. Pretty embarrassed fish too. Oh. Took that for a while. Sorry, thought I had the camera on. I was just watching the line gradually go from one side of the lake to another, and he ended up all the way down where I was fishing for bass. I cast this out in the center of the lake. This might be a bigger one. We'll see. Not really. Just a fighter. Yeah, he's a little bit bigger. wear him out a little bit. Okay, that's enough time to come in. We'll set that drag to level 2. But yeah, he's the biggest we've seen all day here. That's for sure. Okay, come on in. He's not bad. Look at this lake, not bad at all. Just cracked me up. He didn't hit hard at all. Just took it, then started going on his merry way. Laterally, mind you. Okay. And right in the tongue again, huh? Biggest fish of the day. Slow motion. Extra time for dramatic effect. And that's going to do it for me. I need to pack up and get going. In fact, I had to get ready for a gig. Thank Papa Steve, the cameraman, for those last couple shots. But yeah, we're tearing down now, and I need to get this video up, all my SD cards cleaned out, because I am going out to a private property pond tomorrow, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So I'll be up there when this video hits, and until next time, keep on fishing.